And whoever is not found in the book of life was cast in the lake of fire. This is the second death. And like I said, it's easy to be brave and big down here, but boy, you wait till you get up there. You wait if you hit that one that loved you enough to die for you and then give account. And every one of us shall give account of himself to God. And Paul said in the day that God shall judge the secrets of men by Jesus Christ according to my gospel. Out there open goes the record, and there's the record. And the Lord points his finger at the sinner and says, depart from me, you cursed and everlasting fire, prepare for the devil and his angels. You say, well, how in the world could God do that? How in the world could God banish a man to hell to burn forever for just a few little sins like that? Well, if you ever go to hell, and God forbid that you should, but if you ever do, you won't go to hell for a few little sins like that. If you go to hell, you go to hell for a bigger sin than that. I'm looking here, God can save an adulterer. He saved David. God could save a murderer. He saved Moses. God could save a thief. He saved the dying thief. God could save a liar, although it's very difficult, because once you get a liar saved, he can't believe he's saved when he is saved, because he's been lying for so long, he thinks God's lying too, you know. I mean, that's why some of you folks doubt your salvation. You lied so long before you were saved, you think God's lying to you when he tells you you're saved. But God can save all those times right there. There's one man God can't save. If you ever commit a sin you go to hell for, it won't be one of those sins right there. Those sins there committed against men, and you take those sins right there, they might be paid for in a lifetime. If you sin against man, you'll be able to pay for it, you know, in 30 or 40 years, or 50 or 60 or 70 at the most. The fellow probably won't live over 80 or 90 at the most. But what's going to happen when you sin against God? What will happen to you if you sin against a being that lives forever? Suppose the book is right. Now, me, you know, I have no doubts. But suppose the book is right. Suppose there is a God there who has always been there and always will be there, and when you sin against him. Do you know when you quit paying for that sin? When he kicks the bucket. You'll quit paying for your sin the day he dies. And brother, sister, gentlemen, ladies, as long as God lives, you'll pay. And pay and pay and pay. We call that eternal retribution. It's called eternal judgment. It's called eternal punishment. And it isn't preached in 90% of the pulpits in America today. And that's the problem our nation got to face. You know why a fellow goes to hell if he goes to hell at all? And God forbid you should go, but maybe you will. You know what this fellow did? He committed a sin worse than adultery. He committed a sin worse than murder. He committed a sin worse than lying, swearing, killing, stealing, cheating, embezzlement, extortion. What this fellow did? He rejected God's only Son. He looked Jesus Christ right in the face and said, well, when I get so I can live it, I'll give you a break. You know what that is? Deicide. If Christ was God in the flesh, then your sins nailed him to the cross. Deicide. High treason. You've rebelled against the King of the universe. Deicide. High treason. Grand larceny, buddy. You stole a life that didn't belong to you. It belonged to him. If he's the creator, if God is my creator, then I'm his, and I am his property. And if I take his property from him and keep it for myself, I'm not just a thief, that's grand larceny. You're going to be convicted. You're going to be convicted. You committed 3 of the worst sins a man can commit. You know why a fellow goes to hell? He goes to hell for what he doesn't do. The sins that are worst in our lives are always sins of commission. Haven't you noticed that? Do you know why you commit sins? Because you're not doing what God told you to do. And as long as you do what God told you to do, you don't have to worry about doing what he told you not to do. Our trouble is we're always not doing what we ought to do. That's the problem. You know, a fellow goes to hell, he rejects the cure. There's a cure for sin, but you reject it and you're hopeless. Look at here. Here's a fellow dying. I say, you dying? He said, yeah, I'm dying. I said, how long you been dying? Oh, I've been dying a few days now, and pretty shortly I'll be gone. I said, well, I got something here to fix you up. He says, good, let me have it. I said, this pill right here. He says, don't look like much. I said, yeah, but it'll do the job. I've seen it work 1,000 times. Yeah. Open your mouth. No, I don't think I'll take it. Why not? Well, I just don't have the right feeling. Well, you feel like you're dying, don't you? Yeah, open your mouth. Fellow says, well, no, I'm just not quite ready yet. I can't live it. I said, look, I've seen this thing work for people. You're not going to live any way to live it. You're dying. Open your mouth and take this pill, and it'll cure you. He said, I believe you're right. I said, good, open your mouth. Fellow said, I believe as soon as I swallow it, I'll be well. I said, good, open your mouth. And the guy says, no, I'm not going to do it. I say, why not? He said, there are too many hypocrites in the church. Now, isn't that something? You know what's going to happen to that fella? He's going to die. Now, listen. You don't die because you're sick. I mean, as long as you're sick, you ain't dead, are you? All right, you don't die because you're sick. You die because you don't get well. Amen? Amen. See? You don't die because you're sick. You don't go to hell because you're a sinner. You die because you don't get well. You go to hell because you don't take the cure. That's your problem. Now, someday, you know what's going to happen? Someday I'm going to stand up there and I'm going to face every person I've ever preached to. Someday us preachers that look like such fools down here, and it's all right with me, I could care less. But someday we're going to come out on top, we're going to bat 1,000. Someday I'm going to stand up there, I'm going to see everybody I ever preached to as a convert. Someday I'm going to live to see every man, woman, or child I ever preached to get on knees like this and say, Jesus is Lord, to the glory of God the Father. I can't lose, but it's going to be too late for you. Someday I'm going to stand up there and every man I ever preached to is going to show up right down there. You say, where are you going to be? I'm going to be up here. Daniel said, I watched and saw the Ancient of Days came, sat, and a fiery stream issued forth and came forth before him, and thousands ministered to him, and 10,000 times 10,000 stood before him. The judgment was set, and the books were opened. There are two classes. There are people being judged by Christ. There are people judging with Christ. You say, where are you going to be? I'm going to be right up there. Amen. You say, are them angels? Yes, sir, with them angels. You say, Ruckman, you don't look like an angel to me. No, but I'm going to be up there. You say, well, you ought to be down there. Yeah, I should be, but I'm not going to be. You say, why not? I took the cure.